Good afternoon, class, and welcome to your virtual course. My name is Dr. Araypur. I have sent you several emails regarding the course, and I ask you to explore the course. Here's the home page of Canvas. And what I did, I put I put numbers, so just follow the numbers. Number one, I'm welcoming you to the course. It's a minute long, video. I am so thrilled to have you here. And I'm sure we're going to have a great time studying together this semester. Number two, class philosophy, course objectives, and my contact info.
Class philosophy. This class is a community and therefore, we all have the same objective, to learn. Online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you are not in this alone. I would like each of you to approach our online class with a great attitude and a willingness to help one another. Many problems and questions can be resolved by asking a fellow student. I am always here to help you, but I truly believe your experience will be more fruitful if you communicate with your fellow students as well. Let us work together to make this a memorable semester for each and every one of us.
Course objectives.
Course objectives. The objectives of our college algebra course revolve around offering students a college-level academic experience with emphasis on the use of algebra and functions in problem solving and modeling. This course covers advanced algebra topics, including linear, quadratic, polynomial, exponential and logarithmic functions, graphs of functions, inverse functions, systems of equations and inequalities, the binomial theorem, and conics.
Perfect. And again, you can contact me through Canvas, or just the email address is down here, mripur at lvcc.edu. Let's go back to the home page of Canvas. Number three is the announcements. What I like to do, I'm going to put this in student mode because not all the announcements are available yet. So we've had a few. This was a recorded orientation that shows an old recorded orientation, and the new one I'm going to put here. Welcome and orientation, exemption to orientation, as some students have done that. And then there were three emails. I sent this one a couple of weeks ago, this one a week ago, this one a couple of days ago about our orientation and getting together. So going back to the home page, and I can leave the student mode. The next one, number 4. What do you find under number 4? You find the syllabus, modules, which you can click it on here, or the navigation bar on the left side. Homework, practice, test, discussion, forum, exam, so on and so forth. So this is what you find underneath. So and at the end, of course, the student office hours, okay, student/office hours with the proper Zoom meeting and the ID, okay, which is not the same as the Tech Connect Zoom. Here is the meeting for today and the exam videos that we will have. So going back to the home page, I want to quickly go over all of this. You can click on the syllabus here or the syllabus on the left navigation. There are two things here: is the syllabus, the main syllabus, and then the calendar. Normally we have the calendar within the syllabus, but I thought it's important to separate it so it gives us the dates. So when you look at this, it gives us the date for the first exam. It's in week 3, and then exam 2, so on and so forth, all the way to the final. Also notice in a couple of days, this introduction assignment to My Open Math. My Open Math is our digital homework, and it's referred to as MOM for short. That's where you do your homework, and that's do almost immediately, because in a couple of weeks we're going to have the exam, and I will discuss that further when we come across it. Now, here's the syllabus. Again, welcoming you to the course, and then I have different topics because the syllabi are getting so extensive that sometimes students don't pay attention to all of them, and you can go to a topic of interest. Okay, so but I'm going to take a couple of minutes to go over the whole thing, and with more details, please come back and check it out. So we start with the semester, the section number of the course, the time, from 8:28 to 12:16, course catalogs, the learning outcome, objectives. The text is College Algebra by OpenStax is free, and you can grab it from here, or I'll show you when we go to my OpenMath where to find that. It's by OpenStax, and obviously for free. The online digital platform we use is called My OpenMath, and I'm going to refer to it as MOM from now on. Here's a class calendar. Of course, the Zoom meeting, you're already here. And now look at the calendar here. We have set up all the exams such that everything takes place on Saturdays. So you're relaxed. You can, study a little bit that day and take the exam before the expiration. The expiration is at 11:59 p.m. But remember, if the exam is 2 hours long and you start at 11, you have only 59 minutes. So that's why I want you to start no later than 8 or 9 p.m. to be on the safe side. Now, the Friday before that, I have the exam review, although exam reviews are already will be recorded. The previous ones are recorded. Also, I will record them again and post them in my YouTube channel. I'll show you where to find it. But in case, if you'd like to stop by for Q&A, you're more than welcome to do so. Aside from the office hours, this is specifically for this course. There will be no proctoral exam. I want everybody to know that we are here to learn, and I believe in all of my students that they are here to learn. So we don't need the proctoral. When you take the exam, you take it on your own, and you make sure you learn to be able to move on and to go to the next course. Now, attending review sessions is highly recommended to succeed in the course. However, all exam reviews are recorded and posted under the recorded practice test lectures tab in Canvas. I will be available during the designated exam review sessions to answer any questions. All exams expire at 11:59 p.m. on their due date. You may take them anytime on that day, but no later than 8 or 9 p.m. I want to be clear on that. About a week in advance, you receive an email/announcement. So for any reason you missed that, you can go to the announcement and check it out. It will have the information about the exam, for example, how many questions, how much time you have. And it also has the password. If you miss that, you can go to the announcement and find it. Meeting important dates, calculators. You may use a graphing calculator. In some exams, I may want you to use a scientific calculator. Tech support. We have the tech support for the publisher, My OpenMath, for Canvas, or the campus support if need be. The Math Success Center is the tutoring center, and we have the information and their website here, and there are other helpful websites. This is probably the most important thing for the students: grading policy. We have the online homework 200 points, review participation 100 points, 4 exams 100 points each, final is 300 points, total of 1,000 points. Now, what I want to explain is that the homework, as long as it's done before the due date, you can take it as many times as you want, or however long it takes. So that should be easy to really score the 200 points. Believe it or not, 100%, it's easily achieved. Discussion forum. There are 5 of them that are graded, and it's 1 per module, 20 points each. Again, those are easy to get. Each exam is 100 points. The final, although comprehensive, but it's mostly based on the previous exams. So as long as you study them hard, you will have no problem with the final. There will be only module 5, which will be brand new. This is a point system, 1,000 points. So A is 90% or higher, that means 900 or more. B is 80% or higher, that means 800 or more. C is 70% or higher, that means 700 points or more, and so on and so forth. There is no makeup policy unless you have a proper documentation accepted by campus. However, remember, you receive the email and you have a whole week. You can take the exam on its due date or before that. So that should take care of the business. Also, you must take all the exams. Your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final exam score. That means percentage, of course, as long as the following is true. The final score is good. That means 80% or higher. Homework and discussion board are good. That means 95% or higher. And this action will result in a higher letter grade. Okay. Late work policy. Some of the online assignments, you may use a late pass. There's a 10% deduction. However, generally speaking, you will get behind. It's really not a good idea to rely on that. A discussion forum, we don't have that. There is no late policy for that. It has to be done on time. There are other informations here. This information, I always mention it, CSULB 36, and you can look up the website. In short, students need about 3 times the number of unit hours per week for a 16-week to be successful. So this is a 4-unit course, so we need 12 hours. Minimum 12 hours per week to do well. Dropping policy, I just follow the policy from the school, okay, from the campus. But generally speaking, people who miss the orientation don't register with the publisher, meaning mom and do the work, miss the assignment, the first assignment, or miss any of the exams, they will be dropped. So you want to immediately get started with mom by Open Math. There are other useful information such as DSPS, financial aid, and so forth. I want to go over the summary steps. Study the PowerPoints in each module. Do your homework. Sometimes we have video lectures embedded within a homework. Okay. Study the practice test and their solutions. Post questions in the discussion forum. Send your question via Canvas inbox or campus email. Attend the review session and take the exam. The office hours, student office hours, are posted on the homepage of Canvas. Also, you can find it in the syllabus. Okay. Now, there are other important information such as basic needs, Justice Scholar program. And this is interesting, Netiquette, they call it, for online learning. The bottom line is that we are in an environment that we want to act professional with and being courteous to one another. That's extremely important. So we don't want to hide, behind emails and things like that and not act properly. So please, also, we are college students, so correct spelling and grammar is a must. And in short, whoever you get, in contact with positive tone and utmost respect. You really want to be respectful of one another. That's the idea behind the syllabus, everybody. I'm going to go back to the homepage of Canvas. After that, it says modules, and that's where you can find the practice test and PowerPoints, practice test, homework, practice test, solution, all of the above. So what can we find there? So let me quickly show you. On the left navigation bar, if you click on modules, and let me put that in student view. The very first one that you see, it says My Open Math, and specifically I wrote no need for course ID because that question has been asked before. If you click on this, this is where you go to My Open Math and do your homework. I will show you in a moment, but for now, if you click on that, it will ask you to put username and password if you have an account. What if you don't? You create an account, and I believe everybody knows how to create an account. Basically, just put a username, maybe your email address, make up a password, and so on and so forth. You can use the same information for your email, whatever that works for you, okay? Let me close this up, and over here, I want to go back to the module. So the first one is where you do your homework and exams and everything by My Open Math. Then we have exam 1 module. I'm going to go over that in a moment. Exam 2 module, exam 3, exam 4. And then this is module 5, only one chapter, and that is part of the final. Also, at the end, I have some information about the TI calculator. I want to quickly show you. That's a resource, if you will, okay? I have some commands for you here, okay? And you want to look at that. And there is one more thing that I want to add. In the beginning, you see this page. I highly recommend you go to this website and also watch the video and go to this website. See if there is any ways that you can get this emulator. It's the calculator. You can download it into your computer and use it. Again, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes you may contact the tech support in campus. They may be able to help you. I don't know. I don't guarantee that it works. However, there are other online calculators class. Okay, I can't emphasize this enough. Okay, online calculator resources, and I have some of those in My Open Math. I will show you. So going back to this, if I click on the modules, so that was the bottom. So all we are interested in is just module 1, because if we cover that and we understand that, the rest of them follow. So notice what starts. I like to start with the practice test, and I'll tell you why in a moment. So if you click on that, practice test comes up. Here's what I would do. I would either download this or print this, and I would take 5 minutes to read it. This is for the first module, the first exam. Why? Because that gives you an idea of what is being covered for this first exam, okay? So I would do that. Then the next one, those are the PowerPoints for this module. As an example, if I click on this one, the PowerPoint for this module shows up. If you download it and put this in slide mode, when you go through the process, you won't see a whole page, but rather maybe paragraph by paragraph, line by line. When you come across the example, it won't show you the whole page. It will start with the example, the question only. And then it gives you a chance to see the solution. So download it, put it in slide mode. That's my suggestion. And if you go back, when you're done with that one, you go to the next one, the next one, and next one. Notice what we had before this. We had this practice test, right? So we have read it, and we have an idea of what the questions are. We may not know how to solve them. As we go through these PowerPoints, we notice we can solve some of this problem. All you have to do, everybody, one question per day. If you do that, one, maximum two. If you do that, the week of the exam, practically you're done with this. And if you're done with this, what do? You just study it and you will nail the exam, I promise you. So that's the PowerPoint. And now What happens after that? I'm going to go back to the modules again. So we have the practice test. We have the PowerPoints we're going to study. What comes after that? This is the key to the practice test. So not only over here, we get the practice test, over here we get the key. And when you do a question, you consult the key, make sure your answer is correct. Okay. Going back to the college algebra, the modules. We covered what we needed to cover about the modules. I want to go to the home page. And in the home page, the next one is the discussion forum. You can click on the discussion forum here, or you can click on the discussion forum here. So if I click on it here, what do we see? Number one, we see student bios. I have put mine as an example, everybody. You can reply and put yours. And I highly recommend you read your fellow students' bios. You're more than welcome to, talk to them, reply, and just be respectful of one another and help each other, and make sure you have a positive tone and always be encouraging each other. What comes after the student bios? The next discussion forum is called FAQ, frequently asked questions. So what do you find here? There have been questions in the past students asked. I put them here. Please, before you ask any questions, take a couple of minutes and read some of the questions that I put up. For example, how do I use the math editor when I want to use the discussion forum and write it? Or do I need a course ID, as I mentioned? No, for my open math. And so on and so forth. How do I use a late pass, grade book? How do I review my past work? Here's one thing that I put up. In the past, students have been asking for the password. As I mentioned, it will be emailed to you and you can find it under the announcements. Again, if I go back to the announcements here, and since it's not in the student view, there are many more announcements that are coming your way. This one will be available and will be sent to you when the time comes, the week before the exam. So about a week. And so that has the information. What information? Number of questions, time, password. So everything you can find there, please make sure you read the frequently asked questions. After that, you see module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the discussion forums that will be graded, everybody. And you receive 20 points for each one. So if I go over one of them, the rest of them really follow. So let me quickly show you something.
You are required to post, at least, one question and its solution either from practice test number 1 posted under the modules, or any source of your choice, per grading policy in the syllabus. You must read all the posts and make sure not to duplicate any questions. Similar questions are acceptable. Read all the posts, questions and solutions posted by others first, and pick a different question to post. No duplication is allowed. A question with one-word solution, one-line solution, or definition is not acceptable and results in 0 points for the post. 10 points. Write the question number and copy down the question. Show all steps using the math equation editor or embed an image solution as explained below. Find a similar problem online, or on YouTube, or Khan Academy and post the link. 5 points. Comment on, explain, at least one classmate question that is either solved or is found online and posted by watching it carefully in its entirety. Explain about what the question addressed and what you learned from it and outline a few steps you learned as a result. A compliment is nice but is not a comment. To receive credit for this part, write the name of your classmate. 5 points. Example of a student post, made up example.
So, number one, you pick an appropriate question for that module. and you write the question and the solution with details, you get 10 points. And you can use the equation editor. It is explained here how to use the equation editor, the math editor, to write it. So you reply and you can use that. Or you can even write it in a piece of paper and embed an image, not a PDF file. If the students have to download it, that's not acceptable. I wanted everybody to see it. As soon as you go to the discussion forum, you can see the question. So that one, if done properly, you get 10 points. Then you pick a similar question, you get 5 points. And then you write a comment. A comment class is not, thank you so much, I learned a lot. That's not a comment. A comment is what you learned. So from your comment, others can figure out what that student has done. So here's a simple example. I want to solve this equation. I go over the details step by step. I'll show you the work. Then I pick a similar question on a YouTube channel, how to solve a linear equation with fraction. Then I'm commenting supposedly on somebody's post, and it's about solving an absolute value equality. When solving an absolute value equality on inequality, the first step is to isolate the absolute value expression on one side before solving. So a proper comment. Going back to the discussion class, when you finish the first one, by the time you get to the next ones, you know what to do. Please don't wait until the last moment to do it. And every day, I would go to the discussion forum. If anybody has posted, I read it. It takes me only a couple of minutes. Going back to the homepage, we covered everything on the modules. We covered the discussion forum. Again, this is the office hours. What else do you see on the left navigation bar? Recorded practice test lecture. So what I have here, I have the recorded lectures and practice tests. So over here, in essence, the chapter review, module 1, module 2, all the way to the last one, everything with details. Those practice tests that I showed you, I have not only the practice test, also the keys, and more importantly, detailed solution step by step. Where do you find it? Under the recorded practice test. And also we have different chapters here. Going back to the home page, again, everything has been explained. On the left side, there is one more thing that I want to explain, and that is called Math Success Center. If you click on it, it takes you to a different canvas. Over here, they give you the timing. It's a tutoring center. There is a free calculator loan program class. Again, you can try to see if you can download that emulator. I will show you more calculators online. But if you don't have a calculator, you want a physical calculator, you can try a Math Success Center. They also have NetTutor. Normally, those are good for 24 hours a day. So there are a lot of, resources that you can find within the Math Success Center. So going back to the homepage, we covered everything. So the next thing is to go to my Open Math. Again, how do you go there? Under the modules, over here, you register. When you register, then you can go to my Open Math. What do you see at the very top? It starts with introduction to my Open Math assignment. The purpose of this is to help you learn how to use my Open Math. So if you click on it, it has some questions you can answer. Now, for example, if I were to answer the first one, I need to put this number 92. It says no rounding, 92.035. 0.374. So I put that. The second one says rounded to the nearest hundreds. Notice this is the number we are interested in. 3 next to it is 7, so it goes up. So 92.03 becomes 4. It says divide by 0. As you know, we can't divide by 0. It's undefined. They don't have the word. See, by the way, class, notice the moment I click on this box, the math editor shows up, okay? And undefined, they don't have it. I'm going to use DNE or does not exist. Now, if I submit the question, everybody, it check marks and it gives me my points and it registers my grade so far. When I do the next one, it adds to it. But let's just over here answer it wrong. 0.5 is a wrong answer. 1/3, if you want to go to decimal, becomes 0.3 bar or 0.3333. If you submit the question, what happens? It says it's wrong. So what do? You move on? No, I would get a similar question, happen to be the same question, and now I answer it, and I get a point for that, okay? Something comes up, I think I gotta go and come back to finish the job. I click done. What happens? I have done the first one correct. It registers as my grade. If you go under your grade book in MOM, it shows that you have this, right? What about the rest of them? Anytime you come back before the due date, you can continue. Right now, it gave me 7.7%. As I do more, it will add to this. So I have a choice of resuming. So you resume when you come back before the due date, or you exit. I'm going to exit. So I hope everybody's clear how it's done. The next one, I wanted to be clear where to find the exams is that top right after that. You don't have to worry about that. When the time comes, you go with the first one and it asks you for the password. You don't have to worry about that. Then the course description is here. For most sections of the text, you have a video assignment and then practice homework. So if you scroll down, you see this calendar. This number 4, if you change it, it gives you more weeks or less weeks. Notice the first assignment is doing a couple of days, and that is Introduction to MOM, the very first one that we have here. What do we have here? What do we have here? The first exam is due on this date, right? Before that, VA stands for Video Assignments, PA for Practice. And all of these are homework. Why is it that all of these are due before the day before the exam? This is the way I've set it up. Because in the past, sometimes students would say, okay, I don't have time until weekend and do it, and I didn't want to reactivate it. So I figured I give everybody a chance to do it until then. But please, if you don't do them on a daily basis, meaning every day you do one of them, at least, sometimes two, by the time you get to this time, you are overwhelmed, you can't finish your homework. So on a daily basis, don't pay attention to the due date. Do it before the due date. Every day you do one. I can't emphasize this enough. So on the week of the exam, you really should be free from the homework so you can concentrate on your practice. What comes afterwards? First, let me just do this. Okay. So what comes after that? You have module 1, 2, 3, just the way we have it in Canvas. But what is module 0? As the name indicates, resources. So let me quickly show you. And again, if you don't need those resources, you don't need it. You're done. So this is the text which has all the sections of interest in a proper order. Okay, everybody. And it's based on this text. What is the advantage of this text? They are both the same. The order may be slightly different. This one is easier to navigate. Okay, everybody, it's a lot easier to navigate. I want you to know that. But they are both the same. Okay, this one has all the sections you need. This one may have extra sections. And in some instances, you may not even need that if you study all my PowerPoints in a timely fashion. What comes afterwards? Information about how to use a late pass, how to review your work after it's been created, free online calculators. This is what I was talking about. Everything you need is really online. I don't believe students should pay for anything. For example, if you click on that, this is a free scientific calculator. Okay, so graphing calculator, okay, online graphing calculator, and the video as to how to use them. So module 0, and I highly recommend you spend a couple of minutes on that, is nothing but a bunch of resources, including your text. So what do you start with? You start with module 1. Module 1, chapter 2, 2.1. What does it start with? It starts with learning objectives. Then it gives you where you can find it and read it. In other words, it takes you to the text. These video lessons, and by the way, they are not really long. In the past, I've had students who would just delve into my open math only. They would watch those videos and they start the assignments and they do great because the videos are really good and they are not long. So you can watch those and get started. So what do you see here? First, you see the video assignment, then you see the homework. So if you click on the video assignment, it will ask you for a question here. And to do that, first you watch a video. And then it says plot these points. You can plot the points. For example, 0, 2 goes here, just for the sake of argument. 3, 0 goes here. Negative 2, 2 goes here. And so on and so forth. Everybody knows the grid, I guess, right? Now, not only we have the video here, this question over here has also a video of 5, negative 2 is here, okay? And so you submit the question, it gives you full credit. If you made a mistake, you can get a similar question, you can go down. I highly recommend you watch these videos. They're fantastic class. And then you answer these questions. It doesn't take too long. After you finish that, again, right now when I click on done, again, notice I received my point from the first question, but the rest of them are unattempted. I can go back. So this is already registered for me. This has already given me 16.7% of the grade. And when I do the rest of them, it will add to that if I resume. So I'm going to exit. And after that, you do the practice assignment 2.1. Again, I just want to show you that it's basically a similar question. I'm not going to go over that. The only thing I want to add, not only you had the video assignments, some of the homeworks here, this practice test, this one has a video, this one has a video, this one doesn't. So some of the questions in practice also, they have video. So it's really fantastic and the videos are great. So let me quickly recap what we did. This is the homepage of Canvas. Number 1, a welcoming message. Number 2, class philosophy and course objective. Number 3, announcements. We went over the syllabus, the modules. At the end, we have the office hours. And under the modules, over here, you register with my open math. And you, for now, you're concerned with the first module, which had practice test, PowerPoints, and the key to the practice test. Under the modules, you have the discussion forum. The first 2 are informative, such as students, bios, and frequently asked questions. As of the next one, we have 20 points to gain there. And we have the recorded practice test here, Tech Connect and Math Success Center. I'm going to go back to the home page. When we go to my Open Math, we start with the introductory assignment. Exams are there. And Module 0 is the resources. Module 1, this is where we start the work. Starting with Chapter 2 starts with the objectives. I would watch these videos and then the video assignment and the practice assignment. And again, here's the home page of Canvas. And that's all there is to it. Happy studying, everybody. I wish you best of luck.